concept for your show? Like, are you working on any particular kind of singing?
There is one song I have that is just lower in my range, and sometimes I feel like it doesn't have as much like body or weight to it. So maybe bringing out more of my chest and having it feel stronger.
There's a couple of things that we should discuss just in terms of like concept and approach. So you can't expand your low range the way you can expand your high range. We've all got a working limit. You'll notice, just like everybody else, that when it's earlier in your singing day, you have more presence in the low voice. As you begin to sing, and if you've been singing for a long amount of time, or if you're really warmed up, you're going to notice that you start to lose a little bit of presence in the low voice the more warm you are, because the chords begin to thin out. They don't have the same thickness and shortness that they had when you first came to singing or when you first woke up. That's why we all have tired voices in the morning, and they're very low and creaky. So that's something that's important to understand, but you can get a little bit more benefit out of what you have. But for your keys and for your writing, you want to kind of understand what your consistent low voice is. That way, if it comes up in the evening and you've been going all day and it's somewhere like later in your set, you don't want to have written a note that then might have been sung out of the range.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay. Also, chest voice, if we're kind of discussing that resonance, you know, it gets its name from feeling the sensation of the resonance on the sternum, but also there's an inward feeling. You can really associate it with pure mouth resonance. So it's hitting the roof of your mouth, and it kind of lives in the mouth cavity. So say, hey!
Hey!
Right, so if we're working on developing presence for chest voice, what we want to do is start actually using some wider vowels. Like the widest American English speech vowel is ah. And we want to do some vowels that encourage more mouth resonance, not nasal resonance. Because if you use smaller vowels, they're going to encourage a little bit more head resonance or mixed resonance. So if we're trying to kind of get a little more presence and potency, you want to use something a little bit wider. So like as and uhs are good sounds, okay? We also want to start to use vocal consonants that help the attack occur right on the lips so that we're really waking up in the mouth resonance and not again creeping up into the nasal cavity, which is where we'd want to go for mix or head voice. So for instance, try to say a pure B, say ba ba ba.
Ba ba ba.
Yeah, and I don't even need you to think loud. A lot of people, as soon as they start vocalizing chest, they think I got to be loud, and then they start kind of putting some weight on the voice, but just nice and present. But that B, and what we don't want to do is kind of sneak in with an M, mba, mba.
Okay.
Because that's going to pull it through the nose and then find the mouth. We just want to be right on that pure B. Ba, ba, ba.
Ba, ba, ba.
Perfect. So we can start in kind of a comfy place and then walk down. Ba, 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 ba. 2, 3, 4.
Ba, 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 ba.
Good. Go for a speech level.
Ba, 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 ba.
And bounce that B.
Ba, 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 ba.
There you go. Now you might start to notice that as we get lower, the chords can go slack just like they were in the high voice. They can actually start to get a little breathy. Ba, ba. And so instead of trying to push and force the sound to come in, again, if you use your creak that we just warmed up, your cry sound, say ba, ba,
Ba.
you're going to start to get more efficiency out of the phonation.
Okay.
So if I start putting a little edge on the B, like vocal fry down here, ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. And I go towards the microphone, I'm going to get more bang for my buck, and I don't have to push on the resonance, okay?
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba.
That's good.
Ba, 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 ba.
Yeah, bounce it. Ba, 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 ba. Kind of pouty cheeks.
Ba, 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 ba,
There you go.
ba. Ba, 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 ba,
Good,
ba,
watch that
ba,
M. Right on the beat.
Ba,
Ba, ba, ba, ba, ba, ba, ba, ba, ba.
ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba.
2 more.
Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba.
And that's about as high as we might want to take that.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't want to get into the bridge because we don't want to start pushing chest voice too high. Okay? Nice. That was all the way down to low D.
Oh,
Okay?
wow.
So if you kind of take that and bounce it down, ba, 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 and you can start to activate that lower voice.
Yeah.
Okay? Let's do some chest swelling. So start in your low voice, say hey.
Hey.
And then I want you to feel that blossom with not with a push, but just allow that tone to kind of wake up. We kind of want to identify maybe again like the top of chest voice. So here's that A flat. Just till I hum it, say ah. that's kind of like, we wouldn't want to swell maybe past that when we're working chest. But if we went like, I'm going to mix for you to be in the female range. But if I went, hey, hey, and I don't even want to worry too much about singing, but I want to kind of feel that chest resonance blossom and get a little bit of swell for a workout, okay? Try that. Just kind of start in your comfortable low and then swell up to that limit and feel your voice blossom in chest voice.
Hey.
That's it. And again, kind of widen the mouth and really feel it isolated here and not try to sneak up into mix.
Yes.
Hey!
Hey.
Good. And you can do some pitch bends, some little bounces up there. Hey!
Hey.
Good. Kind of feel it come in and wake up. And then you feel comfortable?
Yeah.
Feel okay? Okay. And then you can try somewhere you try attacking that high. So kind of think the pitch and then maybe try gently coming in, but with a medium airflow. Hey! And descending.
Hey.
Yeah.
That
So
one definitely is more intimidating for me to just start on it with.
Start
chest.
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can even move it down a half step.
Okay.
But try to, think the pitch first and then come in even. Like, you almost feel like you're coming in from above. Hey! And try the inverse.
Hey.
Yeah, and kind of feel the resonance swell a little bit, okay? And then if we take that principle and we go to little up-down patterns. And I want you to feel, let's use a wider vowel, ah, and I want you to feel a mini version of that over each little rise. So that you're going like, yeah, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Good, think like Amy Winehouse.
Yeah.
Go for a brassy mouth color.
Yeah.
Good, keep that ah color.
Yeah.
There you go. And try to feel that resonance. Nice. Little swells. Yeah. In a straight tone. Good. Now use your cry. Yeah. There you go. And get right up on that mic. Get a little closer. There you go. Yeah, let that, it's a mic technique too, so let that support that lowest singing. That was down to E flat. Yeah. There's your D, good. Nice, Martina. Keep it wide, yeah. Nice. Good, now keep the volume even. Last one. Nice.
Yeah.
Now some women, just depending on the individual and the singer, the experience, the style that they sing in, the vocal weight, they'll be able to move that a couple more half steps. But you don't want to push it. You'd never want to get to C. Okay, that was to a totally safe A flat.
Yeah.
But then the bridge occurs at A, B flat, B. So some women are going to feel comfortable taking it to A or to B flat. But you'll notice a spot in your voice where like, there's my transition point, I need to move, okay? But that can be like a nice little chest workout.
Yeah.
And then outside of that, for your singing, the strategies that you're going to want to employ are, again, making great use of the microphone as you sing down. A lot of people either fog out, which is like when they're trying to sing into that low extremity, they just kind of lose the chords and the pitch. Or they try to push because they want that tone to come in, and then that makes the tone derail. And also that puts a lot of pressure on the larynx, which can feel real uncomfortable. So the strategies that we want are to lean towards the mic and use less breath force. Use a little bit less volume and let the mic come in with more support so that we're sounding even to the listeners, but we're using a little bit softer air.
Yes.
The second thing is you can descend into a little bit of vocal fry, or if it's stylistic for a song, you could get a little breathy. Okay? And then to counteract the larynx kind of getting pressed, have you ever seen like when kids try to imitate mom and dad and they put their chin down? And they're like, no, okay? They're subconsciously lowering the larynx to create a deeper voice, like their parents. So they'll do that sometimes. You can watch when you're working with kids and they're like, hey, okay? And they don't realize what they're doing, but then singers will do that too. They'll start to kind of lower this and everything becomes a little bit crippled.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is actually counteract that action to try to keep your larynx more neutral. And the way that we would do that is inducing a little smile to the lips. That's going to slightly elevate the larynx. And it's not that we want it to be high. When it starts to get pressed too low, we just want it to try to stay a little more neutral. So like, what's one of your lyrics that goes down low?
Love in the shadows pervaded my youth. Like the low one is youth.
Youth.
That's the word. Pervaded my youth.
Great, and that's not even bad. But now, if you widen just a little bit, try to maintain the integrity of the vowel, but say youth.
Youth.
That should make you feel a little bit more stable here, as opposed to youth, right? So if you're just inducing a little bit of a smile, so if you were down there, pervaded my youth, and you're just thinking a little bit, just to help it stay kind of in a neutral position.
Yeah.
Softer breath force, maybe cry, depending on the appropriate color for the style and the emotion of the lyric, but then also just a slight widening in the embouchure so that you get you feel comfortable and neutral here. Okay, try one more time.
Pervaded my youth.
Beautiful. Can we start? Yeah. What leads to that? What's before it?
That's the love in the shadows pervaded my youth.
Good. And let's try some different styles. Can you kind of feel that taper off, almost like a fall off into vocal fry? Pervaded my youth.
Okay.
And kind of fall into it like a little release.
Pervaded my youth.
Right. And then I want you to try one where you make it actually kind of breathy.
Okay.
Okay? Pervaded my youth. And choose that color.
Pervaded my youth.
Those are usually really nice colors when you get to the low extremity of your voice. And then obviously you have your balance.
Yeah.
Okay? But don't be afraid to choose one of those for style and have it actually support what's kind of a more vulnerable singing. As long as it sounds intentional and it's supporting the communication, then people are going to buy into it real fast.
Yeah.
Okay?
I actually love that breathy.
Quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have really thought to use that down there by choice.
Yeah, use it.
Kind of what would end up happening if the chords just like fall out because
Yeah.
it's too low.
Yeah, it's got to support the whole ambiance or the whole environment of the song. So that's all I'm saying is like if it fogs out because you're going, pervaded my youth, that's not cute, right?
Yeah.
Then that's when people are trying to force the air into a low note. But if you can kind of back off the breath force and it's pervaded my youth, and you lean towards the microphone, people are going to buy into that real fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool?
That feels great.
In the shadows, pervading my youth. Subtle denial, and did the truth. Trust fall into every choice I made. Fragile fragments of memory
Beautiful. Okay? Interested in more voice training? Visit us at wolfstudiosnyc.com.